Why are you doing this to me?
Nobody's gonna hear you scream, Mama. Patricia's smile slices across her face as she dangles the keys. Remember boasting about your soundproof rental unit? $15,000 for premium insulation? That investment's about to kill you. The basement door slams inches from Eleanor's face. The deadbolt clicks once, twice, 3 times. Patricia! Eleanor's weathered fist hammered the steel door, her 78-year-old knuckles splitting against metal. I gave you everything. And now I'm taking the rest. Patricia's voice hardens, her shadow visible through the small, reinforced window. You threatened the wrong daughter yesterday. Did you really think I'd let you cut me out after discovering the transfers? The refrigerator hums in the background, mocking Eleanor. She's already checked it. Milk, 6 eggs, half a loaf of bread, Thanksgiving leftovers, 10 days of food. Patricia taps her Rolex, Eleanor's birthday gift to her last year. My Cabo vacation is 14 days. Do the math. Eleanor presses against the window. The minute Michael returns, your precious son thinks you're at Canyon Ranch. Everyone does. The family group chat has your fake messages scheduled for days. Patricia's diamond tennis bracelet catches the light as she holds up Eleanor's cell phone. Amazing what you can do when you have someone's passwords. She smashes the phone against the concrete floor. The screen shatters like Eleanor's hope. You're gonna perish here, Patricia whispers. And the best part? I used your credit card for everything. The locks, the bars on the windows. You financed your own tomb. Eleanor slumps against the wall as Patricia's footsteps retreat upstairs. The familiar creak of the third step from the top, the one Robert had bled on 20 years ago, echoes through the brownstone. Think, Eleanor. Think, she mutters, scanning her prison. The basement apartment, her pride just months ago, stretches before her in cruel mockery. Subway tile backsplash she has selected from that boutique in Chelsea. Egyptian cotton sheets on the queen bed. Custom maple cabinets that cost more than her first car. All her choices. All her money. All her prison now. The landline phone hangs useless on the wall, its cord slashed with surgical precision. Eleanor yanks open drawers, empty, save for a single dull butter knife. Patricia has been methodical. Foolish old woman, Eleanor scolds herself, sinking onto the bed's edge. Memories flash. 22-year-old Patricia watching Eleanor evict 3 tenants from their Flatbush property. 30-year-old Patricia sitting silently as Eleanor manipulated Michael's Columbia scholarship application. 40-year-old Patricia's calculating eyes when Eleanor announced the family trust would skip a generation. The signs were always there. A sudden thump overhead freezes Eleanor in place. Patricia should be gone by now. The front door hasn't opened again. Eleanor would have heard it. Someone else is in the house. Footsteps, heavier than Patricia's, move deliberately across the living room floor. Her heart races. Michael isn't due back from Chicago until Monday. Vanessa hasn't set foot in the house for 15 years. The basement door handle jiggles. Eleanor scrambles backwards, concealing a screwdriver in her sleeve. If Patricia has returned, showing her advantage now would be foolish. Metal scrapes against metal as someone manipulates the lock from the other side. Eleanor positions herself behind the door, screwdriver raised. The door swings open. Michael stands in the doorway, his expensive suit rumpled from travel. Confusion etched in his face, the face that looked so painfully like Robert's. Mother, what are you doing down here? The front door was unlocked and I heard, Michael! Relief floods Eleanor's voice. Thank God you're home. Patricia has lost her mind. She's locked me in here. She's stealing everything. Michael doesn't move to help her. His expression shifts, hardens in a way that triggers warning bells in Eleanor's mind. Michael, what's wrong? Help me upstairs. He reaches into his suit jacket and withdraws a folded document. Eleanor recognizes her attorney's letterhead immediately. I found this while searching your office for the Canyon Ranch itinerary Patricia mentioned. Imagine my surprise discovering you'd written me out of your will 5 years ago. The screwdriver feels heavier in Eleanor's sleeve. You think I killed Dad? Not a question, a statement of fact. Eleanor's throat goes dry. Michael! 5 years you smiled to my face while believing I murdered him. Were you ever going to tell me, or just let me find out after you died? I can explain. Michael steps back, his hand on the door. I think you have plenty of time for explanations now. The realization hits Eleanor like physical violence. Michael, no, don't do this. I'll bring more food tomorrow, he says, face expressionless. But you're staying here until I know exactly what happened to Dad and why you've been lying to me my entire life. The lock clicks shut. Eleanor stands frozen, the hidden screwdriver slipping from her sleeve and clattering to the floor. In the sudden silence, a new sound emerges, a faint scratching from behind the wall to her left, the wall that separates the basement apartment from the abandoned subway maintenance tunnel she had secretly sealed off rather than report to city authorities. Someone is digging through. June 17th, 1985. The day Eleanor Washington became both a widow and a warrior. Accidental fall, Detective Jameson mumbles, avoiding Eleanor's eyes as he hands her Robert's personal effects in a police-labeled plastic bag. These Harlem brownstone staircases can be treacherous, ma'am. Eleanor knows better. The blood splatter tells a different story than a simple fall. Robert Washington, 6'2", former college quarterback, hadn't tripped down 15 stairs with enough force to crack his skull in 3 places, not while stone sober on a Tuesday afternoon. But a black family in 1985 Harlem knows better than to question the NYPD's convenient conclusions. What will you do now, Mrs. Washington? Detective Jameson asks, eyeing the crumbling brownstone Robert had sunk their savings into. 3 kids, no income. Might be time to consider Queens. Prices are reasonable for your situation. Eleanor's fingers close around Robert's keys. This is my home, Detective. My children's home. 24 hours later, Eleanor withdraws $47,000, their entire savings, from Bank of Manhattan. She hires 3 crews from their neighborhood, 1 to renovate, 1 to repair the plumbing, 1 to upgrade electrical. She works alongside them, learning every aspect of property management while her children sleep upstairs. Within 6 months, she's rented the top 2 floors at double the market rate to Columbia professors desperate for proximity to campus. You're not charging enough, Patricia comments, at 13, watching Eleanor draft lease agreements at the kitchen table. White people from downtown will pay triple for the authentic Harlem experience. Eleanor studies her eldest daughter, already calculating, already seeing people as walking dollar signs. Too much like Robert. By 1990, Eleanor owns 3 brownstones. By 1995, 11 properties across Harlem and Bedford-Stuyvesant. The Washington Group, LLC, becomes a whispered name among real estate circles, the widow who emerged from nowhere to dominate the market before gentrification hit. Blood money, Michael once overhears a competitor call it at a real estate auction. Eleanor never confirms the rumors about Robert's various debts, his gambling problems, or his connections to certain Brooklyn organizations. She never explains the late-night visitor who came looking for Robert 2 days before his so-called accident. She never tells her children why she keeps a small blue notebook locked in her desk drawer, filled with names, dates, and amounts. The morning of Michael's acceptance to Columbia Business School, Eleanor finds him in Robert's old office, the lockbox from her closet opened on the desk. "Are you looking for something, son?" she asks, her voice honey-coated poison. Michael slips something into his pocket. "Just some old photos, Mom." Eleanor never mentions the incident again, but 1 week later, she visits her attorney's office on Fifth Avenue and changes her will for the first time. Mount Sinai Hospital smells of bleach and false sympathy. Mild cardiac event, Dr. Lieberman explains to Patricia, Michael, and a nurse Eleanor doesn't recognize. Nothing too concerning, but at your mother's age, we should monitor her for 48 hours. Eleanor tries to speak, but her tongue feels heavy. The medication leaves her floating, disconnected from her body. She shouldn't be making any major decisions for at least a few weeks. Dr. Lieberman continues, the medication affects cognitive function. Patricia leans forward, her designer handbag sliding from her lap. Doctor, this creates a problematic situation. Mother handles significant business affairs daily. Bills, property management decisions, banking. Lies. Patricia knows Eleanor has staff handling operations. She is known for years. Perhaps a temporary power of attorney, Dr. Lieberman suggests. Just until she's stable, otherwise her affairs could fall into disarray. Eleanor's eyes widen, but her protests emerge only as faint mumbles. I can handle it, Michael volunteers, checking his Rolex, Robert's Rolex. My Chicago meetings can wait. Patricia's smile tightens. Don't be ridiculous, Michael. You had the Henderson acquisition. Mother would never forgive herself if you lost that deal because of her weakness. Michael hesitates. I suppose you're right. Eleanor fights against the fog. Something isn't right. She had only felt heartburn, nothing more. The hospitalization seems excessive. The medication, unnecessarily strong. I've taken a leave from work, Patricia announces. I can manage things temporarily. By evening, a notary arrives. Eleanor, barely able to hold a pen, watches as Patricia guides her trembling hand. The document gives Patricia full control of Eleanor's $17 million for an unspecified recovery period. Later that night, Eleanor pulls her IV out with trembling fingers. The nurse, Yvette, rushes in. Mrs. Washington! You can't. Test my blood, Eleanor whispers, now, before it clears. Yvette freezes. What are you saying? My daughter wants my properties. Test my blood. Eleanor offers $5,000 cash if Yvette secretly tests it. 24 hours later, Eleanor checks herself out against medical advice. The results confirm it. Benzodiazepines, never prescribed, in doses high enough to mimic stroke symptoms. Patricia has made her first move. Eleanor prepares for war. Eleanor raises her crystal glass, Waterford, purchased with her first million. To family, the only thing that truly matters. Around her mahogany dining table, imported from Ghana, her fractured family performs the ritual of togetherness. Michael, home from Chicago, broods over business reports he thinks Eleanor cannot see. Patricia, smiling perfectly, is calculating, tallying the silver and artwork with her eyes. And for the first time in years, an empty chair waits where Vanessa should be. Vanessa sends her regrets, Eleanor had announced earlier. Something about a work emergency in Atlanta. The lie had slipped easily from her lips. Better than admitting she'd lost track of her middle child years ago. Better than admitting the last private investigator had found evidence Vanessa was living under a new identity in Queens, buying properties near Eleanor's own. "You've outdone yourself, Mother," Patricia says, eyeing the Thanksgiving spread. "Though you should have let me help. You're not as young as you used to be." Translation: "You're becoming a liability." "Nonsense," Eleanor replies, carving the turkey with precision. "Washington women don't slow down, we speed up." Michael's phone buzzes again, the 5th time during dinner. Each time he declines the call. "Important business, Michael?" Eleanor asks pointedly. "Nothing that can't wait," he mutters, though his eyes betray anxiety. Patricia steers the conversation toward Eleanor's properties. The Morningside Heights apartments need renovation. The Peterson Group offered to manage the project at a reasonable rate. Eleanor pauses mid-slice. "The Peterson Group is owned by your former college roommate, isn't it?" Patricia's smile doesn't reach her eyes. Their bid was competitive. "I'm sure," Eleanor replies, "just as I'm sure the $250,000 that disappeared from my equity account last week will reappear with a reasonable explanation." The table falls silent. Michael's head snaps up from his phone. "What are you implying, Mother?" Patricia's voice turns icy. "Not implying, stating," Eleanor says firmly. "The transaction came from my home computer while I was at the doctor. Only 3 people have my password. I didn't take it. Michael was in Chicago. Care to explain?" "Oh, you're confused again, Mother. Like when you accused the gardener of stealing your emerald earrings before finding them in your other jewelry box." "I'm seeing my attorney tomorrow," Eleanor replies calmly, "to revoke your power of attorney and to make certain changes to my will." Patricia's wineglass tips suddenly, spilling red across white linen. "You can't do that. Watch me." After dinner, Patricia insists on serving pumpkin pie herself. "An old family recipe," she announces, setting a slice before Eleanor, "with a special ingredient." Eleanor's first bite tastes bitter. By the 3rd, the room begins to sway. "What did you—" She tries to stand, but her legs buckle. "Careful, Mother," Patricia steadies her with false concern. "You're not well. Perhaps we should get you to bed." Eleanor's vision blurs as Patricia and Michael half carry her down the basement stairs. Her consciousness fades as Patricia whispers in her ear, "You should have just died quietly at the hospital. This is so much messier." Eleanor's world goes dark. Eleanor wakes to darkness and the low hum of the refrigerator. Her mouth feels stuffed with cotton, her thoughts sluggish, drugged, again. She struggles to sit up. The room spins as her feet touch the cold tile floor. She flips the light switch. Nothing. Not a power outage. The refrigerator still hums. Selective circuit disruption. Her phone is gone. Patricia has thought of everything. Slowly, Eleanor's eyes adjust to the gloom. Moonlight filters through the barred windows, casting prison cell shadows across what had once been her pride, the luxury basement apartment she had designed for rental income. But this isn't the apartment she created. The furniture remains, her carefully chosen West Elm pieces. But the walls are different. Family photos hang where abstract art once did. Eleanor staggers closer, legs unsteady from whatever Patricia used. The nearest frame shows a Christmas portrait from 1989. Eleanor with Patricia, Michael, and Vanessa? Her own face has been carefully scratched out. Every photo, birthdays, graduations, vacations, bears the same violent mutilation. Only Eleanor's face, gouged away with something sharp. "My God," she whispers. She turns to the bookshelf. It holds volumes she never purchased, true crime books about family murders, inheritance disputes, disappearances. One lies open to a chapter titled "The Perfect Crime: Making Murder Look Natural." Beside it sits a yellow legal pad filled with Patricia's neat handwriting. Notes on Eleanor's schedule, medication times, security codes, property valuations, account numbers. Most disturbing, a timeline spanning 3 months ending with yesterday's date marked Final Day. This hasn't been a sudden decision. Patricia has been planning her Eleanor imprisonment and maybe her death for months. Eleanor steps into the bathroom. The mirror startles her. Pale, disheveled, eyes wide with shock. She opens the medicine cabinet. Her prescriptions sit neatly inside. Blood pressure pills, arthritis pills, cholesterol medicine. She counts quickly. Exactly 10 days' worth. She closes the cabinet, catching something in the mirror's reflection. Turning slowly, she sees it. A small red light blinking from the ceiling vent. A camera. Patricia is watching. Eleanor sinks to the bathroom floor, her mind racing despite the drugs. Patricia hasn't just imprisoned her, she's built a psychological torture chamber designed to break her before she starves. Then, another sound. Scratching. Coming behind the bathroom wall. The wall that borders the sealed subway maintenance tunnel. Eleanor presses her ear against the cool tile. The scratching is real. Rhythmic, determined. Someone or something is trying to get in, or perhaps someone is trying to help her get out. "Hello?" she whispered toward the wall, careful of the camera. The scratching stopped. Silence. Then 3 distinct taps. Eleanor freezes and knocks back 3 times. Michael Washington pours 3 fingers of bourbon into a crystal tumbler, his father's tumbler, and stares at the scattered papers across Eleanor's mahogany desk. "Jesus Christ, Mom," he mutters, draining the glass in one gulp. Patricia had left abruptly for Cabo San Lucas that morning, calling it a family emergency. But Michael had returned to the brownstone with unanswered questions. His Chicago deal, the Henderson acquisition, had collapsed spectacularly. Confidential details had been leaked to competitors. Details stored only on his laptop. A laptop he'd left in his childhood bedroom. Someone in this house had sabotaged him. Searching for proof, Michael found a hidden lockbox tucked behind a false panel in Eleanor's mahogany desk. Inside were documents that shattered his world. Insurance policies, police reports, medical examiner notes, newspaper clippings about Robert Washington's accidental death in 1985. And worst of all, Eleanor's handwritten account of why she believed Michael, at 17, had pushed his father down the stairs. Michael's eyes burn as he reads the words again. Michael's Yale acceptance arrived that morning. Robert threatened to sabotage it unless Michael joined the family business. They argued on the landing. When I reached the foyer, Robert was already dead. Michael claimed he found him that way. The blood on his Converse sneakers suggested otherwise. Michael slams the papers onto the desk. "You were wrong, Mom. You've been wrong for 20 years. A muffled thump interrupts his thoughts. From below, another thump. The basement. Patricia had mentioned Eleanor's renovations down there. Michael grabs the bourbon bottle and heads toward the sound, his split steps heavy on the same stairs where Robert had died. At the basement door, faint cries reach his ears. A woman's voice. Eleanor's voice. "Mother?" Michael calls, pressing against the door. "What are you doing down there?" The cries grow louder, more desperate. He notices the padlocks. 3 heavy-duty deadbolts securing the door. "What the hell?" he whispers. The key ring hangs on the wall exactly where it always had when Eleanor used to lock him in the basement for punishment. One by one, the locks click open. Michael swings the door wide open. Eleanor stands there, clothes rumpled, hair wild, eyes frantic. "Michael, thank God you're home. Patricia has lost her mind. She's locked me down here. She's stealing everything." Michael stares at his mother, the woman who built an empire on secrets, the woman who believed him capable of patricide for 20 decades, the woman whose banking access had sabotaged his Chicago deal just days earlier. His hand tightens around the documents in his pocket. "Michael, what's wrong?" Eleanor pleads. "Help me upstairs." Decision time. Michael's voice is cold. "You're staying right where you are." Eleanor's relief turns to confusion. "What are you talking about? Your sister drugged me, imprisoned me, and you think I murdered Dad." Michael cuts in, pulling the papers from his pocket. 20 years of suspicion, Mother. 20 years of you watching me over holiday dinners, wondering if I'd kill again. Color drains from Eleanor's face. "Where did you find those?" "Where you hide everything," Michael replies, "behind false walls." He glances around the altered basement. "Patricia did this?" "Yes," Eleanor insists, her voice rising with urgency. "She's stolen nearly $500,000 from my accounts. When I confronted her, she drugged me and locked me down here to die." Michael laughs bitterly. "Always someone else's fault. Patricia steals, I kill, Vanessa runs away, and you, the sainted Eleanor, are the only innocent Washington." "We don't have time for this," Eleanor hisses. "Patricia could be draining every account right now." "Let her," Michael says flatly, staring at the mutilated family photos on the wall. "It's fitting. The empire built on blood money returned to blood." Eleanor stiffens. "What are you talking about?" "Dad's debts. His connections to the Castellano family, the money that miraculously appeared 3 months after his death, enough for you to renovate this place and start buying properties. You don't understand." "You understand perfectly." Michael's eyes burn into hers. Dad owed dangerous people. He died before paying. Somehow you made it disappear. The PI you hired to investigate me found the connection. It's all in your notes. Eleanor sinks onto the couch, her voice breaking. Michael, your father was no saint. Michael interrupts, but he didn't deserve what happened, and I didn't kill him. Then who did? Eleanor whispers. The question hangs heavy, 20 years too late. Michael checks his watch. I have a meeting at the Pierre in 2 hours with Singapore investors. After that, I'm returning to Chicago. You're leaving me here? Eleanor cries. Your own mother? I'm leaving you exactly where you left me, Michael says coldly. In purgatory. He steps toward the door. I'll bring food tomorrow, enough for a week. By then, I'll decide what to do with you. Michael, wait! I can explain about your father, about that day. Save it, Michael cuts her off. You know what Dad told me that morning? He said you were embezzling from his business partners, that you forged his signature on loan documents, that he was going to turn you in. Eleanor gasps sharply. Michael's eyes narrow. So tell me, Mother, which Washington really had motives that day? The door closes. The locks click into place. Silence settles over the basement. Then it comes again, the sound. Scratch, scratch, scratch. From behind the bathroom wall. Day 3 of captivity. Eleanor has created a routine. 6 a.m., wake up, stretch, fight arthritis. 6:30, ration breakfast, half a yogurt, a quarter slice of bread. 7, 3 taps on the bathroom wall, 3 taps returned. 7:30, search for weaknesses while the camera in the vent turns away. By noon, she has cataloged every useful object. 1 butter knife, 6 bed sheets, a screwdriver hidden behind the bathroom mirror, plumbing pipes that could be loosened, 13 hairpins from the vanity drawer. Never let a crisis go unexplored, she mutters, Robert's favorite saying. But Patricia has left more than just a prison. She's built a gallery of torment. The bottom drawer of the bookshelf holds an old leather portfolio. Inside are property deeds from Eleanor's early days. One deed stands out, Queen's Warehouse, marked in red ink. Property acquisition through foreclosure after owner's disappearance. The name hits her like a blow. Derek Jones, Vanessa's college boyfriend, the young man who discovered Robert's financial records while helping Vanessa move, the young man who confronted Eleanor about where her startup money really came from, the young man who never made it home that night. Eleanor's hands shake as she closes the portfolio. Patricia knows. Somehow, Patricia has uncovered Eleanor's darkest secret, darker than Robert's death. A clatter from the bathroom snaps her back. Dust falls from the ceiling. A tile shifts. Something lowers on a fishing line. A small package, wrapped in black cloth. Eleanor snatches it quickly, retreating into the shower's blind spot. She unwraps it. A burner phone. The screen lights up with a single message. Mom, it's Vanessa. 15 years and you never looked in Queens? I've been watching. Camera feed intercepted. Michael returned yesterday. Patricia emptied the Cayman account this morning. The tunnel widens at the north wall. I've been digging for 3 days. 2 more until breakthrough. Trust no one. Eleanor stares at the words, her mind racing. Vanessa is alive, in Queens, digging toward her. The phone vibrates again. A second message. Check Michael's Rolex next time. Dad's watch never had a scratch on the clasp. The one he wears has blood in the links. I saw everything that day. I was 8, hiding in the coat closet. It wasn't you. It wasn't Michael. It was Patricia. Dad caught her stealing from the office safe. She pushed him. The phone slips from Eleanor's fingers, clattering on the tile. Patricia killed Robert. Michael believes Eleanor did it. And Vanessa saw everything. Eleanor is imprisoned by one child, abandoned by another, and maybe being rescued by the third. The scratching resumes from the wall, louder now, closer, urgent. A final message glows on the phone. One more thing. Derek isn't dead. He's with me. Your goon didn't finish the job. I got there first. We've spent 15 years building our revenge. The Washington Empire belongs to me now. All properties around your brownstone are mine. When I break through, you have a choice. Help me destroy Patricia and Michael, or stay in the prison they built for you. 3 sharp knocks. Eleanor kneels and knocks back. Her empire is crumbling, her children scattered or corrupted. But Eleanor Washington has not survived 40 decades of war in real estate by surrendering. She tucks the phone into her bra, grips the screwdriver, and begins prying at the baseboard. Vanessa may think she is in control, but Eleanor knows the truth. Power belongs to whoever holds the information, and information locked in her Manhattan safe deposit box is still hers. Victoria Sanders sips espresso in her corner office overlooking the Manhattan skyline. Another Washington property transfers quietly into her holding company, WR Acquisitions. 15 years have reshaped Vanessa Washington into someone unrecognizable. Gone are the soft features and hesitant manner of the forgotten middle child. The woman who now controls 18 properties around her mother's empire wears sharp suits, a blunt cut of obsidian black hair, and the calm calculation of someone who has learned patience through suffering. 15 years, she murmurs, signing the final document. 15 years plotting while they never even looked for me. The door opens without a knock. Derek Jones enters, her husband and co-conspirator. The scar splitting his left cheek pulls his smile into something unsettling. North Harlem Holdings just accepted our offer, he announces, dropping a folder onto her desk. That's the last property surrounding your mother's brownstone. We own everything now. A perfect noose. Vanessa nods, fingers brushing the gold locket around her neck. Inside rests her father's blood-stained Yale class ring, recovered from the staircase while Eleanor was busy building alibis. And Patricia? She asks. Derek grins. Her accounts are hemorrhaging money. The Cayman transfer she tried this morning? Intercepted, redirected. She thinks she's moving it to safety, but it's flowing straight to us. And Michael? He thinks he's meeting Singapore investors tonight. Instead, they're federal agents investigating his firm. We made the anonymous report. Perfect. Vanessa rises, straightening her Armani jacket. And the tunnel? 2 more days at most. Your mother got the phone. She knows. Vanessa crosses to a wall-mounted screen displaying 4 live feeds from Eleanor's basement. The old woman tests the room systematically, fighting despite her captivity. She hasn't changed, still calculating, still fighting. Derek watches her carefully. Are you sure about this? Once we bring her out, everything changes. The plan remains intact. I need her confession about your murder on record before I destroy her, before I destroy them all. Derek touches the scar Eleanor gave him the night she tried to have him killed. And if she refuses? Vanessa's smile hardens. Mother taught us always to keep leverage. Mine is sitting in a safe deposit box. The original recording of Patricia pushing Dad down the stairs. She turns from the monitors, missing the moment Eleanor discovers a hidden maintenance panel behind her bathroom vanity, the one leading directly to Derek's tunnel. Let's finish this. It's time the Washington family had a proper reunion. Patricia's Louboutins click sharply against the brownstone's parquet floor as she bursts through the front door, designer luggage abandoned on the steps behind her. "Michael," she shouts, her controlled voice breaking with panic. "Michael, where are you?" The living room is empty. Shadows stretch across furniture that has witnessed decades of Washington secrets. "The money's gone," she whispers to herself, scrolling frantically through banking apps. $30 million. Vanished. Her Cabo vacation had lasted only 6 hours. Fraud alerts had pulled her back on a private jet. By the time she landed at Teterboro, every account, both public and hidden, was drained. Her eyes land on the basement door. Light spills from the crack. It's unlocked. "Mother," Patricia hisses, snatching a heavy crystal paperweight from the entryway table. If Eleanor has escaped, if she accessed the accounts, Patricia creeps downstairs. The apartment door is ajar. "I know you're in here," she calls, voice echoing. "Whatever you think you've done." "Hello, Patricia." The voice freezes her blood. A voice she hasn't heard in 15 years. Patricia turns slowly. Vanessa stands in the doorway. Elegant, unfamiliar, watching her like a predator studies prey. "You're dead," Patricia whispers, dropping the paperweight. "You disappeared." "Atlanta?" "Atlanta?" Vanessa laughs. "Is that what Mother told you? I've been in Queens, building my own empire while yours rotted." "What do you want?" Patricia demands, her eyes flicking toward the bathroom door, to the gun hidden behind the toilet tank. "Justice," Vanessa answers. "For Dad, for Derek, for myself." Patricia's facade cracks. "What are you talking about?" "Don't insult me," Vanessa says coldly. "I was hiding in the coat closet when you pushed Dad down the stairs. 8 years old, watching my sister kill our father over the money in his safe." Patricia's face drains of color. "You can't prove anything. It was decades ago." "Can't I?" Vanessa pulls out her phone. An audio recording plays, Patricia's teenage voice screaming at Robert, followed by the sickening thud of a body tumbling down the staircase. Patricia's breath catches. "Where did you get that?" "Dad's recorder was running. I took it before Mother found his body. I've kept it safe for 20 years, waiting for this moment." The bathroom door creaks open. Patricia lunges toward her hidden weapon, only to stop. Michael steps out first, a gun already in his hand. "Michael?" Patricia gasps. "Thank God! This imposter claims she's Vanessa." "Save it," Michael cuts her off. His voice is flat. "I heard the recording." She stammers, "It's fake! She's lying! I would never—" "I found Mother's records. The money that appeared after Dad's death, the debts that vanished. I thought she killed him." His eyes darken. "But it was you." "And Mother protected you, covered up your crime, used Dad's death to launch her real estate empire, blood money indeed?" Patricia's voice cracks with desperation. "Where is she? Where's Mother?" A grinding sound answers her. The bathroom wall slides open, the hidden maintenance tunnel revealed. And Eleanor Washington steps out, disheveled but unbowed, a screwdriver clutched in her hand like a weapon. "Hello, children," she says calmly, as though greeting them at a holiday dinner. "We have some family business to discuss." The basement feels smaller with all four of them inside. Eleanor, Patricia, Michael, and Vanessa. The air hums with 20 years of secrets finally pressing against each other. Vanessa's voice cuts first. "Before we begin, there's someone you should meet." She steps aside. From the tunnel, Derek Jones emerges. Older now, his scarred cheek a permanent reminder of Eleanor's betrayal, but his eyes burning with a survivor's fury. Patricia gasps. No, you're dead. Mother said." "Mother lied," Derek interrupts coldly. "She paid a man to finish me. He failed. Vanessa found me, saved me. We've been planning ever since." Michael's fists clench. "You two destroyed my deal in Chicago." Derek smirks. "A small price. Consider it interest on the blood you all owe." Patricia steps back, shaking her head. "None of this makes sense. Why would she points at Vanessa, "ally herself with you? You were nothing, a distraction, a man who loved her," Derek snaps. "A man you all dismissed because I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. When I discovered the truth about Robert's debts, Eleanor ordered me silenced. Robert killed Robert. Michael covered his tracks in Chicago. The whole family is rotten." Eleanor raises her chin. "Enough. Derek, you survived. Congratulations. But don't pretend you're noble. You've been circling like a vulture for decades. If Vanessa hadn't saved you, you'd be nothing but bones in a landfill." Derek steps toward her, scar twisting with rage. "You tried to kill me." "I protected my family," Eleanor replies sharply. "Robert's death gave me leverage. His debts were erased, and I built something lasting, something powerful. On blood," Vanessa spits, "on lies, on covering up Patricia's crime. You sacrificed Derek to keep the empire clean." Michael finally speaks, voice low. "Then tell us the truth, Mother. Did you order his death?" Eleanor's eyes lock on Derek's. "Yes, I did." The basement falls silent. Patricia covers her mouth, trembling. She admits it. She admits everything. Vanessa steps closer, phone in hand, recording the entire exchange. The Washington matriarch confesses. Perfect. Eleanor narrows her eyes. "Don't think I don't see your game, Vanessa. You didn't come here for justice. You came for my empire. And I'll have it," Vanessa says coldly. "Every deed, every dollar, every square foot of land. Yours, Michael's, Patricia's, all of it." Michael raises his gun. "Over my dead body." Vanessa's smirk is ice. "That can be arranged." Derek pulls a pistol from his coat. Patricia stumbles backward, knocking over a lamp. The room plunges into flickering shadows. For the first time in years, the Washington family is together, and every one of them is armed. The standoff stretches into silence. 4 Washingtons, 1 outsider, 5 weapons between them. Michael's finger tightens on the trigger. "Put the phone down, Vanessa." Vanessa steadies her gaze. The world deserves to know the truth. Patricia edges toward the stairs, voice trembling. We don't need violence. We can divide the assets. I walk away with nothing. Just let me sit down, Eleanor commands, her voice sharper than any weapon. The Queen speaks, still clinging to control. Because control is survival. And if you think I'll let you tear apart what I built, bang! The gunshot shatters the room. For a heartbeat, no one breathes. Patricia screams. Michael stumbles, clutching his shoulder, crimson spreading across his shirt. His gun clatters to the floor. Vanessa lowers her pistol slowly, smoke curling from the barrel. One less problem. You shot your own brother? Eleanor hisses, eyes blazing. He was never a brother to me. He was an obstacle. Michael groans, collapsing against the couch. You'll regret this. Patricia drops to her knees beside him, pressing her scarf against the wound. Stay with me, Michael. Don't close your eyes. Eleanor turns on Vanessa. You think this makes you powerful? It makes you reckless. That was your mistake as a child, and it's still your mistake now. No, Vanessa replies. My mistake was ever thinking I needed your approval. Now I have proof of your crimes, proof of Patricia's, proof of everything. The empire is already mine. Derek raises his gun again. Then finish it, kill the rest, and we take what's left. But Vanessa doesn't fire. Instead, she steps closer to Eleanor, holding the phone inches from her face. One confession. That's all I need. Tell the world you built the Washington fortune on murder and theft. Admit it, Mother. Eleanor doesn't flinch. The world doesn't care about confessions. It cares about power. And when you've lived long enough, Vanessa, you'll understand power never belongs to the one who pulls the trigger. It belongs to the one who survives. Her hand moves faster than anyone expects. She drives the screwdriver upward into Derek's wrist. His gun fires wildly into the ceiling. The basement explodes into chaos. Patricia screams. Michael collapses fully to the floor. Derek howls in pain. Vanessa lunges for Eleanor. And for the first time, the Washington matriarch fights, not for empire, but for her life. The basement descends into madness. Derek clutches his bleeding wrist, cursing. Patricia drags Michael across the floor, screaming for help no one will hear. Vanessa wrestles with Eleanor, the two women locked in a brutal struggle that shatters the illusion of wealth and grace. Confess, Vanessa snarls, slamming Eleanor against the wall. Eleanor spits blood onto the floor. Never. Derek, rage boiling, aims his gun with his good hand. The barrel swings wildly between mother and daughter. Move, Vanessa! No, she shouts. She dies by my hand. The house groans above them. Years of renovations, tunnels, and hidden chambers have weakened the old foundation. Derek's stray bullet has cracked a support beam. Dust rains from the ceiling. Patricia looks up in horror. The house, it's collapsing. Michael coughs, voice weak. Get out. But no one moves. Vanessa rips the locket from her neck, shoving it in Eleanor's face. See this? Dad's blood. Proof you all destroyed him. Proof you destroyed us. Eleanor's eyes narrow. You think you're stronger than me? You think Derek makes you powerful? She twists suddenly, using Vanessa's momentum to hurl her into the bookcase. Shelves crash down, burying Vanessa under splintered wood and shattered glass. "Vanessa!" Derek screams, diving toward her. Another bean cracks. The floor tilts. Furniture slides. Plates and crystal crash to the ground upstairs like a chorus of ghosts. Patricia sobs. "We're going to die down here." Eleanor pulls herself up, chest heaving. "Not me." She staggers toward the bathroom wall, the hidden tunnel yawning like a dark throat. Vanessa claws her way free from the wreckage, blood running down her forehead. "You don't get to leave, Mother. This ends here." She lunges again, grabbing Eleanor's ankle. Both women crash to the floor as the ceiling caves above them. The brownstone, Eleanor's empire, begins to collapse. And beneath the roar of destruction, one truth echoes louder than the rest. The Washington family cannot survive itself. Smoke and dust choke the basement as beams split and plaster rains down. The Washington Empire, 40 years of wealth and secrecy, crumbles in seconds. Eleanor crawls toward the tunnel, lungs burning. Every muscle screams, but survival is louder. She will not die in her own prison. Behind her, Patricia drags Michael across the floor, blood streaking behind them. "Stay with me, Michael. Stay with me." Derek lifts the fallen bookcase off Vanessa, pulling her to her feet. Her face is bloodied, but her eyes blaze with vengeance. "Don't let her get away." Eleanor grips the edge of the tunnel entrance. A groan ripples through the foundation. The brownstone is seconds from collapse. "Mother!" Vanessa screams, lunging forward. She grabs Eleanor's arm. "You don't walk away from this, not after everything you've done." Eleanor looks into her daughter's furious eyes. "I already walked away once, in 1985. With sudden force, she slams the screwdriver into Vanessa's shoulder. Vanessa screams and lets go. Derek grabs her before she falls, but Eleanor is already scrambling into the tunnel. Patricia watches, wide-eyed. "She's leaving us! She's leaving us to die!" Michael's voice is faint. "Always her way." The ceiling caves behind Eleanor, sealing the basement in smoke and screams. For a moment, she believes she's left them all buried. The tunnel is narrow, suffocating. Every scrape of her knees against concrete echoes like a heartbeat. But at the end, a faint glow appears. Moonlight. She drags herself forward until her fingers touch cold night air. She emerges into the alley behind the brownstone, gasping, covered in dust, blood, and sweat. The brownstone groans one last time before collapsing inward, a cloud of ash swallowing the street. Neighbors rush out, shouting, calling 911. Sirens wail in the distance. Eleanor leans against a dumpster, trembling but alive. Her empire is gone, her family possibly dead, but survival remains. She clutches the small safe deposit key still hidden in her bra. Inside a Manhattan vault waits every secret, every document, every weapon she still owns. The Washington War isn't over. It has only changed battlefields. Dawn breaks over Manhattan, pale light cutting through smoke from the ruins of the Washington brownstone. Firefighters sift through rubble. Reporters swarm the barricades. Neighbors whisper about explosions, collapse, betrayal. Eleanor Washington sits in the back of a black town car. silent. Dust still clings to her hair. Her hands, though trembling, clutch a leather folder. Inside are the documents retrieved from her safe deposit box at dawn. Wills, forged deeds, bank records, leverage collected across decades. The driver glances at her in the rearview mirror. "Where to, Mrs. Washington?" She exhales slowly. "The bank. Then my attorney." Her phone vibrates. Unknown number. She hesitates, then answers. A familiar voice crackles through. Weak, but alive. "Vanessa." "You thought you buried us," Vanessa whispers. "But Michael's breathing. Patricia, too. Derek's alive. You failed, Mother." Eleanor closes her eyes, the weight of survival pressing heavy. "If you're alive, then you've already lost. You'll spend your strength chasing me while I rebuild." "You have nothing left," Vanessa spits. "No house, no empire, no family." "I have the only thing that matters, time, and I'll use it to outlast you all." The line goes dead. She stares out the tinted window as the car pulls into traffic. The city rises around her. Steel, glass, ambition, greed. She built her empire once. She can do it again. The Washingtons are fractured, bloodied, consumed by betrayal, but Eleanor knows one truth better than anyone. Families are temporary. Power is eternal. As the sun rises higher, Eleanor allows herself the faintest of smiles. The war is far from over. It has only just begun.